even me, I know. Dancing is all I see. Don't bother me at all. There is a side you see. There is a side you don't. I might not pull the string, but I will wrap them around your throat. I know something you should really know. You ain't seen no I need to fall. The voices in my head, they tell me no, but I don't listen, no. I don't listen, no.
Il faut savoir que ceux qui nous observent de loin sont inquiets. J'ai vu et entendu et écouté plusieurs des dirigeants d'autres planètes qui sont très inquiets parce qu'ils s'interrogent sur la voie que l'Union européenne va poursuivre. Et donc il faut rassurer et les Européens et ceux qui nous observent de plus loin.
Hey, welcome back to the show. Another riveting show of no excuse reactions. Now, hey, I know I've been dipping in the whole relationship shit, and, you know, reacting to all this extra bullshit about the relationships and give a little self-help shit. But I'm gonna pull out of that. And I'm going to tell you the reason and why this shit is going on right now. Okay? And you're not going to even understand or like it. Probably going to think I'm crazy. But it's okay. I am a little bit. That's what makes me regular. But check this. You heard what he said, right? He did not stumble on them fucking words. At all. No stumble. No flip. No fumble. Hey, get your Google translators out. Put it up to the screen, nigga. No flip. No fumble. Man, he meant that shit. Now, check out. I got this clip from Tyler from Security Intent. I've been checking out his channel ever since he opened up. You feel me? Boy does his research. He don't just put bullshit up there. And he calls out the bullshit. And you know what I mean? Good researcher. Good researcher. I've been using him for a minute. Tyler, I know you're going to catch this. How you doing? So, he literally came out with it. Now, in this video, Tyler put it together. Now, I was going to do it, but he got it. So, I just did the recap on his shit, and then I'm going to explain a little bit something more. But check this out.
All right, so, as you just saw, this was a large meeting in Brussels where we had the leaders of all these different countries commenting on Brexit, or Britain's exit from the European Union. And Jean-Claude Juncker got up and began speaking about leaders from other planets. Now, some have said that this is a bad translation, or he didn't know what he was saying. However, I have checked up on this, and he did indeed say these things, and after speaking with multiple French people who listened to what he said, yes, the translation is 100% correct. He clearly mentions about people from far away that are looking at us, as well as mentioning, quote, people from other planets. So,
Alright, Tyler even pointed out. Planet, okay, is very fucking different from state, city, and country in French, okay? Other worlds. It's very fucking different. Get what I'm saying? The word used for those things doesn't mean anything else but that, okay? So he was not mistaken. He was not. And this is a problem for people now, right? That y'all are missing the point. Because this is something that came up recently. Not too recent, but recently. Hey, y'all. How many times do you have to have a dick waving in your face before you say, hey, that's a dick? Hey! Goes the weasel. Come on. Back to Tyler. Keep listening, keep listening.
it's not a mistake. So that leaves us with A, he slipped up and he mentioned something that he shouldn't have mentioned, or B, Maybe he was drunk. And apparently, Mr. Jean-Claude is known for his drunkenness. So it is possible that maybe he had a couple martinis before this speech and began talking about people from another planet watching us. However, I would think that even if you were drunk, that it would be pretty difficult, and it's a pretty big distinction between the word planet and, let's say, the word country. If he was wanting to say people from another country, I don't know how he would have made that leap from the word country to the word planet.
So, as you heard, Tyler even tried to get that nigga out. Okay, like, maybe he was drunk. We didn't know he was drinking. Maybe he was drunk. But I'm sorry, even a drunk motherfucker knows what the fucking saying sometimes. And I'm sorry, that would ain't like he pissy drunk, because he wouldn't be standing to say some slurred up bullshit. And he wasn't slurring. So let me put it on this point. Okay. He meant that shit. Period. No bullshit. He meant that shit. This nigga got that black file. Okay. He got that big manila envelope stacked like this. Or he got that one note. Okay. That's how they give it to you. When you find out. Like, in the higher ups, that's how they give it to you. And you could get the word of mouth one, you know, we're like, hey, I need to show you something. Yeah. Anyway, so this is a fact, people. This has been a fact for a long time. Since Kennedy and JFK. Okay. I'm trying to tell you. Even the Reagan administration. Okay. Roswell. Everybody knows the story about Area 51 and shit. Now, it's a well-known secret, but it's also a fact. Some of these major movies, especially the alien movies and shit that we all do love, you know what I mean? First Encounter, okay? Star Trek, okay? E.T., okay? Yeah. These stories were based off of real instances given to the creators of those movies, the writers. It wasn't something that just out the top of their head. It was somewhat off the top of their head, and then they had the assist. Be it government or be it expert. But it was always an assist. Now, if you go back in history, look back in history. Shit, look back at the goddamn Bible. Even the Vatican has come out and said it. And when they come, we will accept them. The Vatican, the new Pope, fucking said that shit. So understand this. The secret is just being flowed out, but y'all not paying attention. Y'all not paying attention to this. Others looking upon us. You feel me? We are supposed to do more right now, but we allow certain elements to slow us down. Some higher ups did make a wrong choice, and we ended up being hurt for it. Now we're in a predicament now where our population is being rocked by the shit that was done in the past. People's mindsets are not into the game like they're supposed to be. So this right here is a compilation of some of them people. Now Tyler, to avoid the copyright and shit, he's quoting a lot of this. So you're gonna hear Tyler's voice and you're gonna see the picture of the person who quote he's talking about. Okay? Now, pay attention to this shit, yo. Pay the fuck attention to this shit. Every one of these people are higher ups, okay? Or somebody in the field, you know, or somebody who went to space and like got face to face. Okay? So check it out, understand, and be amazed that we were oblivious to the shit that's right next to us.
Other quotes from various world leaders about aliens, about UFO activity that may just shock you. So we'll start with a quote from Senator Barry Goldwater, who is the chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee. And Mr. Goldwater stated, and I quote, This thing has gotten so highly classified, it is just impossible to get anything on it. I have no idea who controls the flow of need to know, because frankly, I was told in such an empathetic way that it was none of my business, that I've never tried to make it to be my business since. I have been interested in this subject for a long time, and I do know that whatever the Air Force has on this subject, it's going to remain highly classified. Gordon Cooper, the former NASA astronaut, who is also an aeronautical engineer and test pilot and one of the 7 original astronauts in Project Mercury, the first manned space program of the United States, stated, and I quote, "In my opinion, I think they were worried that it would panic the public, so they started telling lies about it. And then I think they had to tell another lie to cover their first lie. Now they don't know how to get out of it. Now it's going to be so embarrassing to admit that all these administrations have told so many untruths, it would be embarrassing getting out of it. There are a number of extraterrestrial vehicles out there cruising around." End quote. In a very enigmatic speech by President Ronald Reagan at the UN General Assembly on September 21, 1987 in Geneva, Switzerland, he said, and I quote, "In our obsession with antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside, universal threat to make us recognize this common bond. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside of this world. And yet I ask, is not an alien force already among us?" Very enigmatic and mysterious words from our former President Ronald Reagan. Here's another quote from former NASA astronaut and Princeton physics professor Dr. Brian O'Leary. He says, and I quote, "There is abundant evidence that we are being contacted, that civilizations have been visiting us for a very long time, that their appearance is bizarre from any type of traditional materialistic Western point of view, that these visitors use the technologies of consciousness. They use toroids, they use co-rotating magnetic disks for their propulsion systems. That seems to be a common denominator of the UFO phenomena." Dr. Edgar Mitchell, astronaut and lunar module pilot from the Apollo 14 moon landing, said, and I quote, "Yes, there have been crashed craft and bodies recovered. We are not alone in the universe. They have been coming here for a long time." Well, it doesn't get any more plain spoken than that, folks. Mr. Roscoe H. Hillenketter, the former director of the CIA in 1960, said, quote, "Behind the scenes, high-ranking Air Force officers are soberly concerned about UFOs, but through official secrecy and ridicule, many citizens are led to believe the unknown flying objects are nonsense." Now that is a very telling quote that we have talked a lot about on this channel, how they have tried to make a mockery of the UFO phenomena, and we have a former director.
Told you. It's not even over yet. But just to start, head of the CIA, a couple astronauts, defense, and oh, hello, Reagan, sir. You need to. I'm telling you. They rather us not know, because they think we won't understand and we'll just panic. And like half of us will go super religious, half of us will go buck fuck crazy, and the rest would go normal. It's the assumption that the world wouldn't be able to take it. But now we are so fucking desensitized shit. We standing right next to motherfuckers. You never know. That's right, I said it. You could be standing right next to an alien and you wouldn't know. You feel? They ain't looking like the Predator. They ain't looking like a xenomorph with a shit. No, it's not like that. Let's put it to the science real quick. Science done proved like to the evolutionary scale, you know, eventually anything from any other planets could form up to a humanoid state. Now, which would be 2 arms, 2 legs, head, mouth, breathing something. You know what I mean? But this varies. But it always ends up with the same scenario. 2 arms, 2 legs, head, shoulder, knees and toes. You get what I'm saying? It's the basic building blocks. But the makeup is different. The mind is different. We've been desensitized, people. We've been fucked with for many years. It's in our blood, the fuckery. Where do you think cancer came from? It's in our blood, the fuckery. But there's some people who strive to do a little bit more. They hone their skills. They learn how to accept. Okay? But it's kind of hard to learn how to accept when no one tells you shit. There's more. Check it out.
Director of the CIA corroborating that. During a screening of the Steven Spielberg movie, E.T., the Extraterrestrial, Ronald Reagan is quoted as saying to Mr. Spielberg that, quote, "You know, there aren't 6 people in this room who know how true this really is," referring to the extraterrestrial phenomena. A very revealing quote by Mr. Ben Rich, who was the former senior engineer for Lockheed Martin and the former director of Lockheed's Advanced Aerospace Technology Division Skunk Works, stated this, and I quote, "We already have the means to travel among the stars, but these technologies are locked up in black projects, and it would take an act of God to ever get them out to benefit humanity. Anything you can imagine, we already know how to do." Now, talking about close encounters, here is a very mysterious and telling quote from the cosmonaut Viktor Ivanitsev, who was commenting on a UFO sighting that occurred while en route to the Soyut 6 space station in April of 1979. Quote, "It followed us during half of our orbit. We observed it on the light side, and when we entered the shadow side, it disappeared completely. It was an engineered structure, made from some type of metal, approximately 40 meters long with inner hulls, and inside there were openings. Some places had projections like small wings. The object stayed very close to us. We photographed it, and our photos showed it to be 23 to 28 meters away." A former British police officer, Tony Dodd, stated, and I quote, "I have contact with certain diplomats who not only confirm meetings have been taking place between some government officials and an alien race, but have been receiving assistance from this race."
Hey, yo. You know that astronaut had his whole entire butt puckered as fuck. Okay, y'all. Just imagine this. He's up there sucking on that motherfucking little plastic baggie with the little straw and shit of fucking applesauce. You know, he up there with the applesauce just and look out the window like, oh bullshit, boy. Hey yo, what the fuck is that? You feel me? So you got like 3 or 4 motherfuckers in that station. And occasionally you just have 2 or even 1. Sometimes it'd be 1 motherfucker up in that station by their goddamn selves. You feel me? Could you imagine that kind of horror show? Oh my god. And you see a goddamn space station flip around the corner and you're like, oh nigga. He instantly with the Peter Parker mode took pictures, but did we ever see them shits? Fuck no. We ain't seen them shits, but he had a close eye view of them shits. You know why? Because people would lose their shit if they knew a mother shit was floating around our shit every once in a while. You know what I mean? Like, oh my god. Hey. These niggas are not lying, okay? Buzz, not lying, okay? There's a reason why we haven't went back to the moon for a minute. You know why? You know why? We were told not to come back because we fucking shit up too much. That's what we do. We bullies with foolies. You let us have some space, we're gonna bully in. And this is why we need to come around a little bit better. Keep doing the shit we doing now, we're never gonna be where we're supposed to be. Keep going the way we're going now, we're never gonna be at our best potential. Stop falling for the bullshit and the brainwashing. You all about the dollars, but you ain't about the knowledge. You feel me? I hold a lot of power. It's not about this. It's about this. Firepower!
Taking place between some government officials and an alien race, but have been receiving assistance from this race to advance technology to enable us to meet hostile aliens on a level playing field. My contacts have been present at these meetings and have met these aliens who are benevolent towards us, but will not act with aggression towards any life form unless in self-defense. Lastly, we have a quote from Canada's former Minister of National Defence. From an interview with the Canadian press in 2010, Paul Hellyer went on to say, and I quote, "The reality is that they, the aliens, have been visiting Earth for decades and probably millennia and have contributed considerably to our knowledge." Now, these are just a handful of the quotes given by men who are in very high positions within the government and military of various countries, past presidents, past CIA directors, astronauts who have walked on the moon, and now we have this new video showing the president of the European Commission possibly slipping up. But even if he didn't, and it was all just a mistake, the truth still stands, and the fact is, we have been visited, and we have had many world leaders who haven't made mistakes and who knew exactly what they were talking about.
Hey. A1 double dip facts right there. Okay. We have many leaders that knew about this shit. Okay. The only reason we ain't wiped off this planet, because a lot of them did the right thing in that necessary moment. Not necessarily the right thing morally, okay? But the right thing in the necessary moment. You cannot judge a person in an outstanding moment to make a choice for a world. Sometimes those choices get real fucking hard, okay? Now, there was one person that said there's benevolent ones. Understand, good and evil is out there everywhere. Yes, there's good ones out there overwatching, but they will not help us. We have to help our fucking selves. So if we don't learn to smarten the fuck up and stop fighting with each other, we gonna be sucker punched hard by something. We won't get wiped out, but we'll get sucker punched hard. We already been sucker punched a couple times already, because nobody knows about it. Understand, we're human beings. We're very adaptable. We have a lot of things we do that kind of nowhere else can be done. And we must progress out of this bullshit of hating each other and hating what's different. Stop hating what's different. Understanding, knowing, knowledge works for everything.